Well, in the last couple of years, we have seen some really exciting things happening in our downtown core, especially with some new and unique businesses. Well, today we are on 2nd Street and we're going to be popping into an oil and vinegar tasting room to find out what that's all about here in Medicine Hat. Well, as I had mentioned, we are in downtown Medicine Hat today in one of the brand new shops. It's the Hat's Olive Tap, olive oils, balsamic vinegars. It's all here if you need it. I am joined by the owner now, Carmen. And Carmen, I want you to tell me a little bit about your shop and why you decided to open this up here in Medicine Hat.
Okay. My husband and I have looked for a few years for the right business fit. And when we started to learn about the adulterated extra virgin olive oil market, our interests were piqued to learn more and how we could source out the real product and know that we're consuming something really good for us and not something questionable.
Okay, now what do you mean by that with the olive oil?
There was a 60 Minutes expose that a lot of people would have seen or had just started to hear about in more recent years about the industry being kind of mafia run. That's the glamorized side to it, but a lot of the products are being cut with lower grade olive oils, in some cases canola oil, sunflower, and other unknown ingredients. So we open our pantry and the label says that it's extra virgin olive oil, but it in fact is not.
Okay, so here you have the real pure extra virgin olive oil, and yes, you have some other things around the room, infused olive oils, balsamic vinegars, and that sort of thing.
That's right. So we have the pure extra virgins with no infusions so that you can learn what it should look like, taste like, smell like. And then we have a whole line of fused and infused oils that have a lot of different herbal bases, citrus, spicy, something for everybody's palate, which makes it really easy to use and enjoy. And then behind you we have another wall with all of the balsamic vinegars. So they're all barrel aged, and we have an extensive line of dark balsamics and white balsamics to enjoy.
Okay, now I understand you and I were talking off camera earlier, and we were talking about cooking with these, and there can be several different applications with them. So it's not just dipping bread into it, and it's not just marinating. There's different things you can do. But a big point you had made, college students got back into class a little while ago, and they can cook with these instead of having that pantry full of 17 different spices.
Right, exactly. So we can line you up with a really good infused olive oil. For example, the Tuscan herb. It is a blend of lemon zest, garlic, and sun-dried tomatoes. So that can be used on pasta, chicken, rice, eggs, and when paired with one of many different balsamics, you can marinate your meat, you can make a salad dressing, you can do some bread dipping with it, and you can also use them as a finishing oil on top of whatever food you've made, whether it was just some rice or quinoa, a different protein or grain. And you don't have to have that arsenal of ingredients to add to it. Right. So you've made a gourmet meal with 2 simple bottles.
She's making me hungry already. Carmen, I want to keep you around because later in the show I'd like to do a mini tour. I understand that people can come in and totally free of charge tour around and actually be introduced to all of these oils and vinegars. Is that right?
Exactly. Okay. The 6 days a week we're open. We welcome you to come in, and we hope that you have the time and that we are available to take you through that tour and give you an introduction.
So that you know how to use it, and I had attributed it to kind of going to the gym. You have to go and do the orientation, know how to use the equipment, then you can go ahead and use it yourself. Okay, exactly. I'm going to keep you around because I want to try some of these and see what they're like and see what some of the pairings are like. So,
sure.
Okay, all right, well, stick around. We're here at the Hat's Olive Tap in downtown Medicine Hat on 2nd Street. Well, welcome back again. We are at the Hat's Olive Tap, a brand new shop in downtown Medicine Hat. We're on 2nd Street. I'm joined by the owner, Carmen. And Carmen, we were talking earlier about pure 100% extra virgin olive oil. You guys have a selection of them here.
Right.
But then you go and you infuse them with different things, with the different flavorings. So walk me through just kind of a little bit of what you would do on a tour and some of the things that you would talk about here.
So in introducing you to the fused and infused oils, we always like to start with our butter.
Okay.
It's all plant-based, natural. There's no dairy or lactose in it. It's just plants that simulate a similar smell and taste to butter.
Okay.
So we are excited about this because it's a great way for you to remove some of the saturated trans fats in our diet and put a healthy mono unsaturated fat in. So drizzling that on air pop popcorn, on pasta, cooked vegetables, rice, anywhere that you might like to put butter, you can put this one in its place. And I'll have one with you.
Now, several months ago, friends of ours, they did an olive oil tasting party. I thought they had made it up. Apparently they didn't, because this is a real thing.
It really is.
And I understand that there are other communities that have shops like this that do them regularly. So this is not new, it's just new to Medicine Hat.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of people in Medicine Hat that have experienced a similar setup in various cities throughout Canada and the US.
Okay.
In Alberta, we have about 10 or 12 that we share the same supplier with. So that's
Okay.
really exciting.
So you don't have to go out of town to buy your oils anymore. You can hop on downtown.
That's right.
Okay, well, let's try this one. It has kind of that the plant-based flavor to it, but it also does have that buttery taste.
Right. It's going to have that fresh, living, green taste behind it because it is an extra virgin olive oil, and that's what you want to have. And then you want to appreciate what it's been infused with. And in this case, it's that creamy, buttery flavor. So blood orange is one of the 3 citrus that we currently have. It's the sweetest of the 3 because oranges have a natural higher occurring sugar. And it pairs really, really well with lots of our balsamic line. But if you like, we can try that one.
Absolutely.
So this one, if you were to marinate your chicken, you would have a really bright, zesty orange flavor to your chicken. And because it's the whole fruit that gets crushed at the mill, you're really going to taste the zest of that citrus fruit.
Okay. I see you have some other ones here, so what else do we have going down?
So we get into some of the blends, and one of our most popular is the Tuscan herb. That's the one I mentioned before that has the lemon zest, garlic, and sun-dried tomato. So really, really good in Italian dishes, pasta, chicken, pork, bread dipping. Yeah, anywhere that you would want to put one of those 3 ingredients, you won't go wrong with putting a Tuscan herb.
Right. Now, sometimes when you see infused oils, you see the actual herbs in the bottle with the oil, and so you might end up with some of those full herbs in whatever you're cooking.
Right.
But this is just the oil, but it still has the flavor.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's try it.
Sure.
That
And
is really
the oregano in here is really your dominant, but as it sits on the palate, the flavor builds and it does change, which is quite nice.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, Carmen, well, this is just literally skimming the top of what you have here. We're going to try out the balsamics a little bit later in the show, so stay with us. We're down here at the Hat's Olive Tap, downtown Medicine Hat. Well, we're going through this oil and vinegar tasting down here at the Hat's Olive Tap. I'm joined by Carmen, who's the owner. And Carmen, we previously talked about all the different infused oils, and now we're going to talk about balsamic vinegar. Something I didn't know that you had told me earlier is that All balsamic vinegars come from Modena, Italy,
That's right.
and they all come from grapes.
Right.
Okay.
So they're made using white Trebbiano grapes.
Okay.
Italian law will also permit Lambrusco grapes to be used if there's ever a shortage of white Trebbiano.
Okay.
But they do have to be produced in Modena, Italy to be allowed to leave Italy and be labeled a balsamic vinegar.
Okay, I love that we can have this here in Canada. Just, the world is so small these days that we can enjoy these things from different places and different cultures. So you have the we won't call it plain Jane, but the traditional regular balsamic vinegar people are familiar with. But you have this huge line of infused vinegars as well.
Yes, exactly. So I know we were pointing out a couple that we would like to try.
Yes.
So if we move on down here, we have our tangerine.
Okay.
So it is balsamic vinegar that is infused with the juice of the tangerine fruit.
Now this is similar to the oils. You have some that have herbs in them, some that have citrus fruits and chocolate and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so most of the dark balsamics are fruit-based. We do have a dark chocolate that's made with 3 different dark chocolates. We have Vermont maple syrup, so it's been infused with maple syrup. Okay. And these ones here that we're going to sample are made just with the whole fruit. So there's nothing artificial added to them. It's just the natural occurring sugars and sweetness of the fruit and the barrel-aged balsamic vinegar.
Okay, so tangerine.
Mm-hmm.
That is tasty. That is really tasty. I could actually drink that just, well, regular.
And that wouldn't be a first. We actually encourage people to add their balsamics to their water.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's still water or carbonated. If you're trying to get rid of that fizzy pop here and there, or you're just looking for a refreshing, sparkling drink, this is a nice way to do that. Yeah.
Okay, another way to use it in the kitchen.
Exactly.
There is another one here that I noticed, pomegranate. Now, I'm kind of on this fruit kick here, so let's try that one.
Sure. So these are great to be used as a marinade, as a finishing drizzle on a meat, a pasta, or a salad dressing, or bread dipper.
Okay.
So very versatile. So here we have the Blenheim apricot.
Okay.
And this one is really nice with chicken, pork, as a salad dressing, and especially nice in water. We really find the white balsamics complement your water even more than the darks do.
Right. If you added that to just the sparkling water, it would be like a pop.
It is, yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah. And if it's to still water, it's going to remind you more of a juice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. So we have one more that I wanted to try. Cranberry pear.
Okay. So this one is the prettiest colored one
I agree.
of all. And it does have a little tartness because of the cranberry in there.
Okay.
And then the softness of the pear just really balances out nicely. And it is one of our more popular when added to sparkling water, just for that refreshing taste.
Very good.
So yummy.
Very good. I would have to say this is something that if you are looking for a new way of freshening up your kitchen, any of your cooking, this is a really good way to do it. And I love especially that you had mentioned that you don't have to have that huge pantry of spices if you're not going to be using them all the time, using them regularly and using them up.
Yeah.
Okay. Carmen, I really appreciate you having us in today and giving us just a little mini tour. I know that there's a whole lot more information that you can share about all of these things, but this has been great. A great way to kind of just skim the surface and see what this is all about. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for coming and giving me your time as well to give you a small introduction.
Hey, feed me I'm there. It's all good. We have just a little bit more coming up here on Go. Once again, we're at the Hat's Olive Tap, downtown Medicine Hat. Well, if you come down here to the Hat's Olive Tap and you do a tasting of all the different oils and vinegars, it can be a little bit overwhelming just with all of the selections and choices that you have. And so they do have these suggested pairings with the oils and vinegars, and so you can put them on everything, like Carmen said, whether it be meats or pastas or salads, in your water, or even on your popcorn. I'm testing out the buttered flavored olive oil again on popcorn. It is tasty. If you want some more information on anything that they have, you can come on down to 2nd Street, check them out. If you want to know anything we're doing here on Shaw TV, of course, we're on social media on Facebook, Shaw TV Medicine Hat, on Instagram and Twitter at Shaw TV The Hat. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Go. As I adjust. Up room, tasting room. What's it called? All these words.